it's not a glitch or something. Because if we're stuck, that's gonna be fun. Hey, everybody! Guess the fuck what?
James plays a...
That's me! Hey, everybody! Welcome back to James Gets Mad at Uru Complete Chronicles. It's a glitch. I'll try to keep this rant short, but I went over to the Universal Hint System to figure out what I was missing. The Universal Hint System told me to just jump across the platforms like I was trying to do, and wasn't working. So, this is the GOG version of the game, so I started with the forums over at GOG. Forums don't get a whole lot of activity, but I was able to find some comments about the exact issue I'm dealing with here, and some suggestions on how to deal with it. Over on Steam, it's a pinned topic in the forums. It's right at the top, and plenty of people have experiences with this glitch. Long story short, both versions of the game, same issue, same suggestions for how to deal with it. And to be fair to this game, apparently, if I were playing this when it first came out, this wouldn't have been an issue. To be unfair to this game, you would think that they would have had some sort of patch in the years since to make sure this wasn't a thing that affected people for a very long time. It's apparently related to the frame rate, and people have suggested very specific ways to jump and land on the platform. Other people have suggested downloading a program like Fraps and forcing the frame rate of the game down to under 30 FPS. Hopefully I don't have to do that. Hopefully I can just try these careful little jumps and get it done. So let's see. I saw a video, and in the person's video they just ran off the edge towards like this section here. So okay, we're gonna try that a couple of times, I guess. Another couple of posts suggested just a not running, but a nice little walking jump where we just go straight forward like that. Little hop, a little skip, and, you know, maybe it'll work. So I will be back when we finally get on that damn rock. Hopefully I don't have to download a program to do that, but if I do, then I do. Okay, I'm on here, sliding around like it's ice, and I feel like I'm very short. That would be why. Okay, yeah, just leave that for a moment here, huh? Kind of take that in. I probably should not mess around. I just touch this while I can, hopefully. Can I reach? There we are. Okay, we popped out. So there's that, finally. Now, I think I'm on stable ground. Okay. It recognizes this is, you know, my feet are on this. So if I teleport back to this point, hopefully that means that's all behind me now. And we are safe. Now we can move on with our lives, and I didn't need to download a frame limiter to play the game. Good job. Good job. Please tell me this. I will jump and land on this. Okay, please. Please. And the anticipation is mounting. Okay, we did it, sort of. It hitched there for a second, got me a little bit nervous. Good news. Like I said, over on Steam, it's a pinned topic that this is a huge issue for players. No other pinned topics. So I hope that means there's not going to be any other issues like that moving forward. Let me in. Yay, let me in. Okay. Oh. It started walking on its own and then stopped, and I thought the game broke. What? This game breaking? No, that's silly. Do that. Alright, we're in another tower here. And just looking around carefully. Okay, this does open again. I don't want to go through it, though. Oh, now that time it forced me to. I just wanted to see if the door opened again, or if I was trapped in there. Okay, back here in the red room. That opens up, and we're in. Okay. What are ye? Doesn't look like I have any sort of manual control over what these things will or won't do. Go into here, but I would like to check out the outer ring first. We are still looking for more cloths. And... okay. Same book symbol. Okay, so, oh, is this the other side? I didn't do a full 360 already. No way did I. Okay, we'll go through the center. I am curious what the other side opens up to. But we're here right now. Let's play around in here, right? Just taking a look for any little hidden treats. Don't think I see any so far. Ooh, there's a little doorway here. Okay. No little doorway over here. We do have a control panel of some sort. By the way, like I said before, I've been lightening up the video for you guys so that you can kind of actually see what's happening. This is what I see compared to what you are seeing. Just to give you an idea of what I'm dealing with when I'm playing this game. Okay? Oh, it's not a control panel, it's just a chair. Silly me, thinking that there was something here. Okay. And it oversees a lower level that we've not accessed just yet. Maybe I could access it from the other side. Let's go through this door here that you can barely see on my screen. But I guess I don't have too much room to complain because I did find it. So, you know, fine. Okay. Let's get into the weird thing here. Oh, okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. Right? Everything's fine. Did that do... Oh my god! Okay. Okay. We got ourselves a suit of some kind, which I probably need to do puzzles. It's our puzzling suit. Or puzzles. This is the other side. So we didn't access a lower level from there. Let me go out this way. And we'll see where this opens up to. Also, didn't see any journey claws. We got 3 left. I'm a bit concerned because I think there's going to be 4 of these jutting out. We went through one side. We went in a door. We ended up in a place, went around. On the opposite side is where we currently are. But this here and this here, we saw no access. So I'm worried that I'm going to have to jump back onto the very bad place. And get onto one of those. So here we are. And of course, we got ourselves quite a long time to get back over there. Of course. This one moves more slowly than that one over there. I Yes, I will see you in 25 minutes, by the way this thing is going. Jeez. And I know. You're thinking, why don't I just jump down, warp back to this spot there, and then just jump onto the walkway and cut out the wait? I won't know if that walkway is one of the different ones if I do that. Right now I know I jump off of this one and then I jump onto the next one that comes by. The other, if I die and respawn, then I got a 50-50 chance of getting the right one. So I think this will take just as long to do it this way. Also, I don't think I can get over these edges here. Sure, it lets me jump to my death like everywhere else. But here, I saw that there's a nice flat lower area. And I was curious if that was worth exploring, and the game says it's not. Not like this, at least. Okay. Hang out here, and I'll get back to you once we make it all the way around. Okay, we're almost there. Now, I know what else you were thinking. You're thinking, James, this platform you were on had just passed this. You could have run back inside, come out the other end, waited at that platform's end, and cut your wait time down in half. And to that, I would tell you to shut your mouth. Shut it all up, your mouth. Okay. Slippy slidey time again. At least we're appear to be standing. Okay. Another thing that you might be thinking is, James, you are wonderful, sexy, smart. You're everything I wish I could be, or everything I wish I could be with. And yeah, I get it. I do. I don't actually. I don't see what you see, but I mean, you know, it's great that you think that. Maybe one day I'll think it about myself. You know, get that confidence. So. It's gonna really suck if I go in here and I could have just gone from the inside to this section and I just didn't see it. At least I got to listen to some nice music of the game while I waited and looked at some nice scenery. I mean, this is nice. This visually, I do like it. It's kind of a shame we don't get to explore that. We're exploring this weird monolith thing. But I guess it's neat in its own way. I think I just like organic environments, nature, and such, more than corridors of stone and steel. Wearing my Dead Space ass armor. Okay. This is different. Look at that. And what do we have here? It's a book. Simpson, don't mention anything about the upper area of the fortress in your garrison report. I don't want people wandering all over Teledon looking for that weird link stone. Sharper. Okay, this is a lot. I guess I'll read it. And I'm gonna read it right now. So, okay. One thing seems immediately obvious. This place was built for security. No one could write a link anywhere in this place or the next. It was obviously a maintainer facility of some kind, and it doesn't seem that it was for general guild members. By that, I mean it was limited to at least the higher ranking members. As to how they got the first link written here, I don't know. Probably while it was under construction. It does seem pretty obvious that it's not going to happen again, unless something major happens to this place. I should say that Kodama has some theories about the age that have held up so far. May have been a special forces of a sort for the maintainers. Started later, mid-8000s. Became somewhat of a research and development arm for the maintainers guild. I don't know, worth mentioning though. There are quite a few mentions of such groups in other docs Kodama has found, or at least seen. Entrance. To begin with, I'd wager that no one other than a high-ranking government official or similar ever even made it to this room. That's just my guess, but it seems pretty sound. I don't think any school buddies or girlfriends dropped by to see their maintainer friend. The linking book we found was deep within the maintainer guild. I'm sure it was well guarded in its day. You can see right off the bat the entrance was extremely secure. Thick walls, one door, a high window. Sniper maybe? If you manage to get in with a bomb or something, it's not going to do any noticeable damage. I love the maintainer's symbol on the floor and everywhere else you look, as though I might forget and wonder where I am. Waiting room. So visitors are escorted into this little waiting room. There's a window on one side, almost looks like a ticket window. Maybe turn in weapons or goods that aren't allowed. Maybe books. I'm sure they didn't want books in here. Yeah, it looks like mainly for books. There's another ticket window on the other side, although this one looks different. Pretty sure those are beetle cages on the other side. Beetles that sought out ink. Somebody was just telling me there are all kinds of references to them in other docs. You didn't make it past this room with a book. As well, the doors never open at the same time. So even if somehow you make it out of the entrance room, you're still not going to make it past these mammoth doors out of the waiting area. So they're describing the beginning parts of this age that we went through from the other tower place. Halls. Looks like the hall ran along the entire circumference of the building. There are plenty of rooms. I'll just try to hit them one at a time. First is an elevator, though. However, looks like it's only down. Wonder if it was always that way. More security, I guess. Once you've made it into the halls, there's still nowhere to go, at least if they didn't want you going anywhere. Lockers. I would think that any books that were brought to the age were kept in the lockers. I'd imagine that some of the workers here or frequent visitors also kept some equipment, but I could be wrong on that. Looks like they kept some maintainer gear as well. Markers, helmets, etc. Seems a little out of place, honestly. Keys, or KI. Okay, things are becoming a little more clear now. Just had a long chat with Laxman and researched some different docks over in the city that Nick had. Looks like the current condition I'm seeing was not the original condition. The key was a major development not just for the guild, but also apparently for all citizens. Turns out they were just starting to hand out the keys to the public around the time of the fall. Nice timing. So it looks like they had some renovations in order to facilitate the mass amounts of visitors that would be coming in order to retrieve keys. Turns out my little girlfriend analogy was pretty much completely wrong. Girlfriends and more were going to start coming here, at least to the open sections. Kodama corrected me. We've actually found multiple books in neighborhoods, as well as the guarded maintainer book I mentioned earlier. Whoops. So visitors come in, walk through the doors, beetles check for books, and they walk down the hall into the KI room, or key room. Get a key and link out. Guards were probably at that up elevator, which is just behind this room. If they did happen to bring any illegal items, they get them back from the other side of the locker room, and off they go back home with their new shiny key. Makes more sense as to why the maintainer paraphernalia was in the locker rooms too. Probably a little display type thing for all the visitors. Impress them. Warehouse. Quite a bit of goodies here, all of which I'm sure most visitors never saw. Pretty bad cave-in from the floor above, although Enberg says structurally the place seems alright. He's doing more detailed inspections soon. Looks like most of these crates are filled with key maintenance type equipment, as well as variety of spare parts, etc. I don't know. Laxman will have to give this place a good inspection. I'm sure he'll love going through it all. Beyond me, I know that. Beetle cages. Convenient cave-in. Not sure how one is supposed to get in the beetle cages without it. No idea how they did it. Link maybe. Regardless, pretty positive the cages were for beetles. Symbols on the front and quite a bit of remnants in some of the dirtier cages. We'll have to clean those up. Wonder when they all died. Speaking of access, another question. How'd they get to the second floor? Elevators skipped the middle floor. More security, I suppose. Second floor. Destruction was a little more substantial than I thought. Looks like it tore out a section of the outer wall, even. I'm going to get out of here until Enberg can come back again. Been a few days, but I'm back. No expert, so I guess I have to trust Enberg, but he says this whole thing is one of the most solid, heavy pieces of construction he's ever seen. It's safe, he assures me. If I die here and someone retrieves this recording, please sue him for me. Second floor looks similar to the first. Outer hall and a number of rooms. Have to remember that very few people probably ever walked these halls. There's no access via elevators, stairs, anything to get here. I assume it had to be done via a linking book, which is probably somewhere in the city. I suppose there could be a way to stop those elevators on the middle floor, but I doubt it. Regardless, this floor was extremely secure. Book access only, I'm guessing. So, we start out on the ground floor, go into the elevator, and the second floor, I'm assuming is the top floor, the outdoors. And the middle floor is where we climbed up and through the rubble to reach. Unless there's another, secret second floor that I'm not aware of. Guard lounge. Next to the observation room, at least that's what I assume it was, is what looks like a guard lounge. Looks like they stayed here for long amounts of time. There are beds in here, as well couches. I assume these guys manned the window/observation post while visitors were coming in. Guard lockers. More lockers similar to the set downstairs, although these are manned with some heavy equipment. I'm sure Watson will want to see this stuff and keep it locked up well. In fact, I'm not even going to go into detail about it here. Laxman can write all about this stuff in a later report. I will say, I didn't know the Dunny had these kinds of technology. Gear room. Now I see why this floor was so secure. Looks like the whole power structure for this building is here. Amazing construction. The entire building looks to have been powered by some underground water source that caused it to turn. They implemented a gear that would grab onto the teeth in the ground outside and provide them a power source as well. Talk about killing 2 giant birds with 1 stone. Pretty amazing. Power looks somewhat complicated. Seems as though there were at least occasions that power was turned off, as there are obviously controls to do that, and then start it again. I'm heading to the top. Top. Oh. Okay. So... I didn't mean to close it, silly goose. Okay. The second floor and the top are 2 different things. So there's the ground floor, the first floor, the second floor, and then the top. So when we climbed up through the rubble into that area, that's the second floor. I don't think I can account for ever being on the middle floor. Man. Wow, I thought this building was big. 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 However you want to say it. The main portion is absolutely giant, and rotating too, of course. I'm overcome with the amount of work put into this place just for security. It's everywhere. Almost comical picturing government officials walking the same paths I am. Amazing. To get to the other side, looks like one had to walk across the bridge to the rock pinnacle, then fall through it over and over, unless they used their very specific walking process that landed them halfway into the rock and then slid around like it's ice, or they downloaded a program to limit the frame rate. The first place since we've arrived that we're able to save a link. And it's not big. And there's a massive structure facing you if you did. Pretty funny to try and picture an army invading. All of them bunched up on this stone waiting for these bridges to rotate. What the? My gosh. The creatures. These things are something out of a horror movie. I've been up here a little while and I don't see them often, but when I do, they are scaring me to death. I wonder if you actually can see creatures. I heard sounds, but I didn't see anything. Unless I did, but just didn't notice it myself. You can tell me if I somehow missed a horror nightmare creature out in the woods somewhere. I'm beginning to understand the fences and structures a little better. Perhaps some of them were designed to keep creatures out more than keep visitors in. Don't hang out in these woods unless you have a big gun. Another bridge to reach the main portion of this place. More security. I will say that the platform between the bridges seems to have eroded. At one time, crossing the bridges was probably a security feature to ensure manageable groups would approach the larger building one at a time, but I would wager it was still a lot easier than it is now. The erosion to the platform between the bridges has made it a little rougher, boy, I will say. I suppose the maintainers would like it even more in its current condition. Mudrooms. So now we're talking about the building I'm currently in, and that's why I'm reading this now instead of putting it at the end. Because this might be information I need as we're going through, and want you to have it in case I refer back to it. Mudrooms. I'm not sure what to call these things, but they remind me of mudrooms, so I'll call them that. Not much here. Looks like each bridge has a mudroom attached to it, with another group of doors, etc. There doesn't seem to be any kind of decompression or decontamination that went on here. Really, they seem to be nothing more than another spot for another set of doors. another secure location. Training center. I was going to go through each of the rooms here, but after making a quick overview, I think I'll just start with the entire thing. There are 3 types of rooms in the building, 2 of each kind. There is a control room, 1 purple and 1 yellow, a display room, 1 purple and 1 yellow, and then a conference room. Though these aren't colored, I assume there is 1 for each team. So I'm just going to write this down real quick. Alright, we're going to do control, display, and conference. And then purple and yellow. Just for memory's sake. Not that it's like actually a puzzle or anything, just for me to observe. The entire building seems to be centered on the massive wall in the middle. The control rooms control the wall. The display rooms display the uniforms that were worn in the wall, I presume, and the conference rooms allow the government visitors and high-ranking officials to confer about those training on the wall. C. So, control rooms first. Control rooms. I'm not going to go into controls for the wall in this doc. I'll let Laxman do that at some other time. Regardless, the panel here obviously controls the wall. The wall was used for training as well as testing of various suits. I believe the central room can get pretty hot, cold, smoky, or anything else I can imagine pretty quick. It was a competition. Whoever could get to the top the quickest, teams would set up the obstacles and members would race. There is a side tunnel that provides access to the display rooms from the control room. Display rooms. Not sure what these were originally display... Wait, hold on. Not sure that these were originally display rooms, or maybe they were. Either way, there are quite a few old maintainer suits in here. There's also the latest maintainer suit, or skin, here. I guess I should say the machine to put on the latest maintainer suit is in here. Now that we've had some time to look this, it's incredible. We're talking about a suit that was skin tight and had linking abilities, etc. built in. Very high tech as far as maintainer suits go. Very impressive. The maintainer would fall down the chute, and while traveling to the interior room / the wall, the suit would be placed on him. Okay, hold on. So we got a suit put on us, and I guess we fell down a chute while traveling to the interior room. We did not travel to the interior room, though. Okay. I'm begging to try this thing, but DRC is insistent no one does. Laxman already has someone on it trying to figure out more. I'm first when they do. I think these rooms could basically be described as team locker rooms. Conference rooms. Well, I guess these rooms were where the bigwigs sat down and talked about their maintainers. Obviously, they are set up to watch the wall, and there are displays that show the patterns being built and played on the wall. We'll never know, but I can see the guild masters in here watching their teams compete, preparing to send them out to some radioactive fireball age to see if their new suits can stand the elements. Upper portions. I'm not going up now, but we do know the upper portions were used as prison cells. Typical Dunny technology. They had a single linking book that went to all the cells. Since the building was always rotating, a very complicated linking apparatus and timing mechanism was associated with the book. The timing of the link would determine which cell the person linked into. Apparently, it was very tight. Speaking of linking, this entire building is rotating as well. It seems that most visitors came on the path from the well, although there were also books directly to this building. There had to be. It seems that many of them also used the timing mechanism to link into specific rooms. Looks like another new feature designed and built by these guys. One of many, I'm sure. I'm just wondering where the main research labs were. Or better yet, where did everyone sleep or eat? Hey. So that gave us a bit more information about where we currently are. So this is a conference room to watch the interior, the wall. Now, the bad news that I am seeing here is there's no connection to get to the other side, which means we're gonna have to back out. And, oh no, wait, never mind. This does go all the way around. We're good. Okay, alright. I was worried that we were very isolated. So, other conference room? No. Oh. Still the same by the looks of it. I can't tell too well if there were color differences. Like, we were in a red suit and now we're in a yellow one or something. There we go. So this is the control room. Okay. So we were in a control room and this conference room, display room, and now we're in another set. So we've looked at both sides, apparently. And I'm just gonna peek around. Oh, not yet. Purple and yellow, not red and yellow. I'm sorry. I just remembered that looking at all the purple lights, but I can't quite tell any distinction here. I mean, when we were in the other room, it looked like it was yellow team. Don't know how much that's gonna matter. Was I in fact transported? Well, I can't really tell now. But I feel like I cannot get back to the conference room that I was in. So what happens now? I kind of want to see something. And that involves me running off the edge here. I want to see if I will still have this suit. Okay, we keep the suit. That's good to know. Now the next thing I want to do is, instead of going back to our waypoint, let's go back to that first building and see what if the suit does anything. Because there were doors that would not open for us. And I don't know if they would have any reason to open for us. Not. But I figure I might as well check, you know? Just kind of run around a little bit. And see what that's going to get us, okay? Oh. Okay. Ooh. Guess it's good that I missed my jump. Hello. Secrets. Now, let me out. Let me out, please. I don't like this. This has happened a couple of times where you're just in a spot you can't escape from, and you have to use your book to get out. I don't think that's very good design. But hey, we found a thingy. I still don't know what any of them do, but we found it. Back in, more exploring. Alright, it appears that the suit does not have any impact on getting into this area. So... okay... because remember, there's apparently a floor that's just not accounted for. And so if this is not accessible, and we go around and the other doors are not accessible, then there's something that we are currently being barred from getting access to. The way that this is shaped, there's just like a little section that we just aren't allowed into. I was hoping that the suit was relevant to that. Maybe there's something else. Maybe I will get security clearance or something. In fact... Hold on 1 second. No, not that way, this way. And we'll go back down. And we won't fall into this hole this time. There we go. Nice jump. Can I update my key at all? Okay, still confirmed nothing is going to happen there. So now we can go ahead and I guess go back to the other building again. Is there a convenient way for me to die? I mean, I guess technically, yeah. And I could just use my book. Might as well just use the book, huh? So we know that there's something in this first tower that we did not access. I guess we'll call that the well. And then in the other area, we haven't gotten to that main section with the wall. And I think we didn't get to the other conference room, which would be across the way. Now, since we do have a nice convenient link here, I just want to confirm something for myself. Okay, we're here. And we went around. And instead of accessing the other conference room here, we're over here. Go in, and it's the control room that leads to... Or not the control... The display room that leads to the control room. So we're up here, and I'm going to go into this view. And... Okay, so am I just being ridiculous? I might just be ridiculous. I might just be flying east for the winter since I want to be a silly goose. Yeah, okay. Terrible with direction. Running around in circles and whatnot. This flickering sucks, so... Stop that, please. Thank you. Looking at this, everything's identical. Sort of. I see what has gone wrong here. I see where I had my confusion. Okay? Yeah. Every time I went down one of these halls, I thought that this went to... This was a far enough travel to get to the opposite side. I was very, very wrong about that. I was also very, very wrong about it only having 4 entry points. It's 6. That would explain why I was getting so gosh darn confused and being unable to locate the conference room again. Because I had gone down two halls in the same direction and gotten all confused. So this is also a yellow thing there. Oh, okay. We're gonna have to do some more careful looking at the other conference room. If this is more... Oh, okay. Oh, it's not too long. Alright. This is about the key. Base functions. Denis number 3 on the backside of all of these devices. 3 functions? There's certainly more than that. 3 core functions? In any case, it's a convenient name. Key. Yeah, the key. Is the Denis number that looks like a KI. That's the Denis number for 3. So that's what they're referring to there. That's why they're calling it the KI or key. Okay. Nexus interface. The Nexus seems to be just an interpreter for key data. Keys allow users to provide or decline book access to other keys. I think we can make this work for neighborhoods as well. Age names defined in the key appear in the Nexus, or should. Is the Nexus my home base, that Relto? We'll find out, hopefully. Interpersonal communication. Obviously the most important function. Voice or text communication to other key users. Inter or intra-age doesn't seem to matter. Feels like something that would be handy in multiplayer, if this game had it. Image capture, storage, and transfer. Okay, we know all about that. A single button press captures an image and stores it within an appropriate age directory. It does? Age directory, that's new to me. Images can be sent to other keys as well as uploaded to some imagers, depending on versions. Seems main servers coordinated this functionality. Might be tough to revive. 4. Journal entry, storage, and transfer. Fairly simple. Write notes and store them. Again, server handles transfer journal, key to key or key to imager. Markers. The ability to drop and collect markers at the operator's preset location in an age. Layers of functionality here. Requires more research. Perhaps this feature could be tapped to help with the GZ problem. Interesting. Doors. In this age, the key, even at its most basic level, opened level 1 doors. Level 2 and 3 doors require higher versions. So we need to find a place that gives us a key with higher access. There is much more variety to these devices than we first suspected. The dispenser is capable of handing out at least 5 versions and possibly more. Feature set varies widely. There must have been a system to control and track these devices. Where? Imager built into the unit is surprisingly compact and efficient. Uses the same blasted lattice compression system, for lack of a better word. Have to crack that. Powerful projection for something that fits on the top of a hand. Markers. Purpose, perhaps a training tool for maintainers. Markers could be set up and recruits and or lower ranks run through the course. Interface. Keys interact with markers in 3 ways. Team capture. Once all the markers are placed, there are 2 teams that can collect markers. The key registers the marker to the respective team. Markers can vanish after a time limit or after all have been registered. Markers must be in same age. Test. can markers be reset? Hold. Again, to teams. Markers only vanish after a preset time limit has expired. Markers do not disappear upon being activated, although server keeps track of what team is holding it. Server summarizes team holding most markers at the end of the time limit. Markers must be in same age. Now, these are possibly talking about a functionality related to the journey cloth, or something that I've yet to really discover. Single capture. Only one individual key can register markers. Markers also carry text. Entire marker set can be sent via key to another key anywhere in the system. Markers can be placed in any age. Markers themselves seem identical to those produced by the Great Zero. Now, we had a reference to GZ here. In fact, I'm positive the same technology is being used, if not the Great Zero itself. It's possible the keys are communicating with the Zero itself and writing these marks anywhere they are registered. Problems with that theory, maintainer markers, etc. Key registration. Key tracks of other keys on 3 levels. Intra-age. Any other key within the age is logged and displayed. Key to key. Any individual key can be registered for specific tracking. As a result, no matter where that key is, journals, photos, etc. can be sent and communication can occur. Perhaps this was used for temporary or semi-permanent team missions, or other purposes. A friends list? Groups. The key also recognizes groups, somehow related to the Nexus. Seems possible, if properly configured, to support neighborhood lists with this function. They might just be talking about multiplayer functions here, as opposed to anything that I should be worried about. But we do have the clearance, and the dispenser can hand out at least 5 versions, possibly more. System to control and track them. So that, I think, is going to be our goal. Trying to figure out how to upgrade our key so that we can get into those locked doors. Go ahead and look at this. Is it going to take us to another balcony? Gasp. Shock. I don't know what I'm supposed to be seeing from these balconies, but, again, Yep. Nothing that I can see up here for me to do anything with. And just really not sure if I'm supposed to be like identifying anything here. It's not easy. Okay? We'll go ahead and exit out. I just really don't like that concept of it gets you stuck, so you have to go back to your home base, then warp either to the beginning of the age or your last touched waypoint. I don't like that. I just think that's a bad design. And I'm gonna try not to dwell on that too much, but you know. Looking at all the chairs, and I see nothing. So the two things that I'm currently thinking about is this wall and the missing floor in the well / the locked doors. And upgrading our key clearance level. So I would have gone, I think, everywhere, but I am going to just double check, because things look very similar. I may have gone to one display room or control room and not gone to the other and just thought I saw both. So I'm going to do one run around this place to just check everything for sure. And then we'll call it, okay? Also, now knowing that everything is connected, how it is, that waiting around outside to jump onto the stuff again, we're just gonna pretend that was actually a really clever shortcut, and you guys should think I'm really great for coming up with that. That's all we're gonna say about that. You have a 1 and 3. Is that at all relevant to anything? I mean, this has a similar situation going on. Red lights in 1s and 3s, they do seem to be quite common. And now this is like the control room. But how do we control anything? That should be one set of 3 rooms that we've gone through. Go through the next set. This should be the other conference room. Has the 2 thingies. glitch aside, I do think that this age is going a bit better for me. The one that we did last time with the forest, that was... Oh, hello. No, not for me. All right. The one with the forest, it felt like just one puzzle after another, and I didn't really feel the connection. Here, I feel like there's less puzzle in the same way, that this is way more about exploration. Yeah, if there's a difference, I do not see it. You know, figuring out how to get from point A to point B. Whereas that forest age, that was like, okay, you know how to get from point A to point B, because it's pretty much a straight line, but we're gonna make you do a bunch of puzzles that just don't work out so good for you. At least they didn't work out so good for me in particular, you know? So this would be the yellow, as denoted by the lighting. Don't see anything here. So that's all the rooms. What might I not be seeing? We know that there's an upper floor, and we know that there's a lower floor. The lower floor is how we get into here, I think. And the upper floor, is that the prison? I think they said. So that's what I'm kind of thinking about and trying to dwell on. I may try doing a little bit of thinking with my brain. In between videos here, maybe just some more exploring, staring at walls as I try to figure out what I can do. Or I may just go to the universal hint system for just a little guiding hand. I mean, I did observe that there's kind of like a flat area of ground, but I'm not seeing any entrance from down there, necessarily. I can't even see a way to actually get to that lower ground. But the thought, at least. Okay. Yeah. I'll either do some wandering and come up with a solution on my own, or the universal hint system will once again make an appearance at the start of the next video. So with that, I love ya. Mwah. Bye-bye. Look at that dumper.